Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday evening? It's your boy, King David, King D, checking in. And, I was watching this little documentary on Netflix called The Search for General So, or Toe. You know what I'm saying? General Tao or General So, right? That's the chicken with the sweet and savory sauce that we like to eat at the Chinese joint, right? So they're searching for the origin of this food and how it came about, and it kind of started with the immigration of the Chinese coming over to this country for the gold rush, and then after that kind of slowed down, started to end, they got together and they opened up these little chop suey joints. Like, they had no other choice, wasn't nothing else going on, so they opened up these chop suey joints, right? And these Americans started to get hip to these chop suey joints. And don't get me wrong, they was persecuted. You know, when nobody hired the Chinese, they killed a lot of them. They had some type of presidential order or law that, you kill the Chinese on sight or whatever it was. But anyways, so when the first people kind of started getting these chop sueys together, like, things was going good. And, stuff happened, and people really wasn't hip to the Chinese, and so a lot of the chop suey joints closed down. But the thing that really makes it interesting is that they have this network of Chinese American people whose sole job is to help the new Chinese immigrants, and to this day. And what they do, they have this whole network of cities and towns that has all the rice houses, all the chop sueys, and they strategically place these individuals in these areas to make a fortune off of Chinese food. Now, if you're from St. Louis, most of us love Chinese food. We got a rice house, a Chinaman, as we call them. We got Chinamans practically on every corner. These Chinese are making a fortune off of selling Chinese food. It's not authentic Chinese food. It's like Chinese American. And, you go to these, like Louisiana, they got a Chinese place that serves alligator. So it kind of, they kind of also incorporated into the region's foods and stuff. They might have a crawfish St. Paul or something down in Louisiana, and that's how these Chinese get their little niche, right? But it's not so much about them having these rice houses. I mean, they found a niche and they exploited it to the fullest, which you should. But it's the fact that they stick together, right? They sticking together. That's why they have this network. And for a while, it was just a few little rice houses. And then somewhere along the way, people decided, hey, you know what? They kind of like this stuff. Why don't we get together and create this network of rice houses and immigrants, and we're going to find our niche, we're going to build our little Chinatown, and we're going to stick together. Now, these is the Chinese Americans, and now there's a rice house on every corner. Now I see it's by design. It's a great design, and like I say, they execute it well. But I say that to say this. Black people, this is what we need to be doing. We need to be sticking together. We need to stop killing each other. We need to stop robbing each other. You know, you jealous of what the next man got or whatever your little issue is. And I understand there's circumstances and situations that happens, especially, you know, if you live in that street life, you got to do what you got to do. But overall, we should try to stick together. The Chinese stuck together. They stick together. They got their little Chinese communities, and they're making a fortune. From the Rice House on the corner to P.F. Chang's in Los Angeles. From the low end to the high end, everybody got their little own Chinese restaurant. And we stick together. That's what we can do. I understand that a lot of us are still suffering from the effects of slavery, both mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, and it hasn't gone away. The slavery when people are in the fields and blah, 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 we know it. That's the old slavery. The new slavery is the prison industrial complex, where you have these private prisons that are getting built, and they're paying people to lock us up on droves. Not on droves, but in droves. Like, lock us up crazy. That's why, black people are like 50% of the prison population, right? I understand they setting us up. I understand the system is designed for us to fail, but if we stick together as a community, a lot of that can be solved. When we start getting our businesses and our resources together, you'd be surprised what we can accomplish. They did it long ago. Our ancestors had to build the pyramids. They had to build the Sphinx and all the great monuments and temples that they had. People had to work together. Now, it was a lot of slave labor, but to build something of that caliber, you have your workers, you got your stone cutters and masons, you got your, security patrol, you got your architects, you got this guy over here, you got that guy. You got to get these logs, you got to find the right diameter logs so you can roll these blocks hundreds of miles. You got to put them on the ships, you got to do this, you got to do that. And they stuck together. And that's why they are some of the greatest monuments in the world. And some of the oldest. Right? Our ancestors in Africa, Egypt, Kemet, other places, stuck together in their own little countries. Now, there were warring countries, but I'm talking about like the Egyptians stuck together, and the people over here stuck together, and this country stuck together, and that country stuck together. And they accomplished great things. If we stick together in this country, we can succeed. Do you know the Jewish dollar gets recycled 13 times before it leaves the community? That means that when I get paid, I go to 13 black businesses, black-owned businesses, okay? So, the black clothing store, the black grocery store, the black Walmart, the black Office Depot, the black barber, the black lawnmower man, whoever. That's what I'm talking about. That's a community. When we stick together, we have a community. And we're kind of doing that now with social media and, things of this nature where we can really see what's going on, and, police brutality and police murders against black people are through the roof. I don't have no stats on it. I mean, I know this has been going on for a long time because the police, during slavery days, antebellum slavery, during the slavery days, the police was the slave patrol. So their original name was the slave patrol. So any escaped slaves that would escape off of the plantation, they track them down and they bring them back. It hasn't changed. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying all cops are bad, but a lot of them are bad, and they're racists, and they're white supremacists, and we know this. And if we stuck together as a community more, not only when someone is unjustly murdered, it shouldn't have to be for one of us to get unjustly murdered, unjustly pulled over, and, locked up for no reason other than being black. Okay, Sandra Bland had a cigarette. She wasn't smart enough to the cop. Hey, why do I have to put out my cigarette? I'm in my car. Right? Eric Garner. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh, well, he was fat. That's why he died. No, that's not what happened. We know they murdered him. But why does it take a murder for us to get together? Right? If we had more black enterprise, if we work together, we stop all this light skin, dark skin, we start opening up our eyes and really seeing all what's going on out here. Forget about Drake and Meek Mill. Drake and Meek Mill is not putting money in your pockets. It's not putting money in your children's pockets or your grandchildren's pockets or your great-grandchildren's pockets. Right? The top wealthiest 1% didn't get to be the 1% without putting in a little bit of labor. Stop paying attention to, like, okay, don't get me wrong. I heard the Drake diss. I heard the Meek diss. It was whack. Hey, I love rap music, rap culture. Dudes having a beef. Hey, I'm there. But I'll watch it. I might post something one time. That's it. I'm not finna keep talking about it. What I am finna keep talking about is Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice and Mike Brown and everybody else. These things happen too much. If we stick together, like build our own communities, buy up some property, buy up some land. I encourage you, start your own business. If you don't start your own business, you can always invest in something. But we need to kind of have a contingency in case what we're doing doesn't work out. Because we know the system is unfair and unjust to us. And if we kind of have some financial backing along with the backing of the people, that's something to fear. Right? That's why all these other minorities, the Asians, this group, that group, the Italians, they all had their own communities, right? They all had their stuff. We had Harlem. We had, I'm not sure the town in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but it's commonly referred to as Black Wall Street. I know there's a well-to-do black community somewhere in Texas, and that's good. But we can do more. We honestly can. And that is why, I try to have as much conversation with people as possible. Because I'm tired of seeing my people get gunned down in the streets. I'm tired of us fighting over petty stuff that doesn't even matter. I'm tired of us not moving forward as a culture, as a community, as a people. I'm tired of us just being second-class citizens. When you walk out the house, you don't know whether you're going to make it back home or not. These are the things that concerns me. That's the stuff that makes my blood boil. That's why I do what I do. That's why I like to educate you guys and other people and have these conversations so I can move the conversation forward. Trying to do my part. Do yours. Hit me up. YouTube, King David. G+, King David. Instagram, FLYTILLDIEE. Fly till I die. I'm out. Peace.